Statistically speaking, there's no food on the planet more important than rice. From the irrigated terraces of Asia and the mechanized holdings of Latin America to the rain-fed deltas of Africa, those grains of rice add up to a mega resource. A dietary mainstay of half the people on Earth, it grows on 5 continents, provides employment to 1 billion people, with an output measured in hundreds of millions of tons, and an ever-increasing role in global food trade. But it's important to look behind those statistics, to see who's responsible for the conserving and the planting and the harvesting and the preserving and the preparing and sharing of rice. Who makes sure that everyone in the family has enough of those well-documented nutritious grains to support a healthy life? In other words, who transforms those grains into the building blocks of global food security? The faces you see here can answer those questions. The immeasurable contribution of women to rice production goes beyond statistics. Yet, in spite of decades of gender analysis documenting the importance of the roles of women and men in production, in spite of countless local projects bringing greater understanding of gender issues in the big pictures of food security and poverty alleviation, in spite of programs designed to develop women's access to and control over resources, often the progress stops there. The gender analyses remain in databases, the project reports sit on shelves, and the programs that support women's issues face frustrating competition for funding. Even global changes that on the surface appear to be positive for rural people often have devastating effects on the women who carry such a major load in the world's rice production. Success in a globalized world requires increased production, but advanced production techniques often are not available to women who have little access to training or credit. New high-tech rice varieties appeal to men seeking income from higher yields, while the traditional varieties preferred by women, varieties that usually are more nutritious and environmentally adapted, are cast aside. Pesticides that provide positive results in protecting crops can have harmful side effects for people, especially women, who spend many hours standing in water infiltrated with those pesticides. In addition, global changes recognized as negative can impact women more than men. The AIDS epidemic that's depleted the agricultural workforce, the migration of men from rural areas, the fact that global warming has changed the landscapes of many marginal areas, creating land tenure problems that rarely consider the needs of women in their solutions. These are problems spoken of again and again. Not in vain, because there are attempts to find solutions. Developing rice varieties such as Nerica that require less labor, designing agricultural training that targets women, evaluating projects for lessons that can be passed on. Even a presentation such as this one can heighten awareness that vital gender information is often overlooked. But raising awareness is not an answer in itself. We all recognize the need to get this gender-specific information out of the databases and reports and factored into action. Action that can lead to equal working conditions for women and men. Action that recognizes and supports the distinct importance of women's knowledge. Action that acknowledges the value of women's traditional crops. Because in the big picture, such support would lead to increased production and, at the same time, improved lives and livelihoods for all rural people. Right now, production numbers tell us that rice output needs to increase significantly in coming decades to keep up with population growth. Gender analysis numbers tell us that the contribution of women to the production process is enormous and would be even more significant if women had the political support needed to reach their potential. Two distinct sets of numbers that can add up to an enhanced opportunity to achieve global food security, as long as both sets of numbers are included in the counting.